If you're not making gains in the gym, chances are it's because of one or more of these very common issues that occur to people in their weightlifting journeys. I've been weightlifting for over a year now, and at some point I experienced these issues. In fact, I experienced some of these issues multiple times. You need to watch this video all the way through because even if you experience you find out you experienced the first issue, you still could be experiencing also the second and third issue. You need to make sure you know everything so you can stop those things from slowing down your gains in the gym. The first common issue is not getting enough sleep. Now, it's been said a lot of times, yeah, get 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep because it's very beneficial. But the truth is, a lot of times we kind of slack off on our sleep and we miscalculate how much sleep we actually are getting. So let's say you're in bed from 7.5 hours. So you go to sleep 10:30 p.m. and you wake up at 6. You might think you're getting 7.5 hours of sleep, but you're not because it takes you like 15 minutes to fall asleep, and in the middle of the night, you kind of wake up for brief periods of time without realizing it and remembering it. And that sleep quality that you're getting, it's not 100% perfect, it's like 90, 80%. So the truth is, you could be with 7.5 hours of bedtime, you could be getting 7 or even 6.5 hours of sleep. So you need to be in bed for longer. Another part is that you might fall off on your schedule. My personal story is in the summer I used to make way more gains than I did before because in the summer I was getting 8, 9, 10, or even 12 hours of sleep consistently. Yeah, I like to sleep, and during that summer I remember that was the time when I was really making the most progress. As soon as September rolled around and school started, and I went to getting 6.5 hours, 7 hours sleep, and sleep is better now. While I was getting less sleep during that time, my gains slowed down. So imagine this is the chart of my gains, how much muscle I'm gaining per month. So in the summer it was like ooh, and then when school started, I started making less and less gains. I still was making gains, but much more slower. And recently, not recently, but a couple of months ago, as my sleep improved, and I'm starting to get 7.5, 8 hours of sleep consistently on school nights, my gains have sped up again. Sleep is very underestimated. Not only does it speed up your gains, but also just improves you. It has countless benefits. I made a full guide on how to get better sleep, so click on it if you want to find out how to get better sleep. The second tip I can give is testosterone. Testosterone is this hormone that both men and women have, but men have it in greater quantity most of the times. And this testosterone hormone is essentially what makes you feel and look like a man. Helps with muscle gain, deeper voice, like more facial hair, more body hair in general, and just feeling more hardworking and then masculine stuff. And when you increase testosterone, your gains also increase. One optim The way to increase testosterone is to optimize it, which essentially means doing some of the habits, not habits, but having a lifestyle which will increase your testosterone. Some examples are getting enough sleep, getting sunlight, exercising multiple times a week, not eating chemicals reducing your testosterone, and having low stress levels. I'm gonna make future guide on how a guide in the future on how to get better testosterone. And once you increase your testosterone, it will tremendously speed up how much gains you are making. When I remember this period a couple months ago when I started like slowing down, my gains like kind of were steady. They're not slowing down, but they're like whatever. But one of the things I did, which increased my testosterone, is I changed my deodorant to, instead of using those steel and very harmful chemicals, I started using native deodorant, and that probably gave me a 2 to 10% increase in my testosterone. And over time, I kind of saw my gains a bit increase, and that was just one change that I made. You could literally be making like these easy changes which could skyrocket your testosterone 50%. That's a lot. Now, this third dip is very essential, and it's probably one like the biggest reason you're not making gains. Because even if you're perfecting these two, the previous two common problems, you're fixing them, but you still have the problem with the third one, then you won't be making any gains. And this is the most important one. The third, can't pronounce that. The third problem is not feeling, not pushing enough. But how do I word this? Is when your gains slow down, and you cope that it's because your new gains are over, and you can't do anything about like increasing your gains. But the truth is, new gains last a lot longer than you think. Yeah, at first, the first 2 3 months, other months you make the highest rate of progress, and yeah, in the next few months, your rate of progress, your rate of getting gains slows down, but it's still like high. 2 months ago, I was like getting kind of like complacent, and I was like barely making any gains. And the reason is because you're stop pushing hard, and it's because you like get lazy, complacent, and you just forget how it was when you first started out, and you're so enthusiastic about bodybuilding, weightlifting, exercising. You were pushing really hard, you were motivated, and you had those new gains. Now you have less new gains, but you still have them. So you could be truthfully making almost as much muscle as you were when you first started, but you are not, because you stopped pushing hard enough. You forgot how it is to push hard. One of the most common like misconceptions is like you reaching a true failure in like an exercise. Let's say bench press. So let's say, well, like 80 pounds, you can do 3 sets of 12 reps. And for you, that kind of feels like hard, like it starts burning in your chest. But the truth is, if on the last set you could hit like 1 or 2 more reps, then that is not true failure. And how you know if you can hit those true reps is, let's say I said, if you hit that what 13th rep, then I'll give you 10K. Will you do it? If you can't, even if you really want to, then that's true failure. If you can, then you have not reached true failure. Now, how to use this is, you don't want to be reaching true failure every workout, because that would be very tiring. One time I worked out with my buddy, and we hit push, and my chest afterwards was sore for 5 days. 5 days. That was true failure. Obviously, you can't be sore for 5 days, but you need to make sure you're training hard enough to make those gains. You need to be pushing. You can push more than you think you can. Now, I hope this helps you with your gains, and hopefully you take action and start fixing these problems if you have any of them. And usually it's a combination of like the few of these. And these are not the only ones. These are just the most like basic common ones. if you're not making gains, then it's not because of these three, it could be because of something else.